2 weeks ago, we made a video about arguments with stupid people, and now it's time to do the other side of the coin. If you haven't watched that one, go do that and then come back. We'll see you after the intro. Welcome to ALUX. Now, before we get into the video, how do you know if someone is smarter than you? On what basis do you judge the smarts of a person? Amos Tversky was one of the world's leading experts in judgment and human decision-making. He was so smart, his peers made a quick intelligence test based on him. The quicker you realized Amos was smarter than you, the smarter you were. Your ability to understand if someone is smarter than you is a great sign of your own competence. Just like in poker, if you can't tell who's the weakest player at the table, well, my friend, you are the weakest one. Just a little something to think about. Secondly, you should come into any argument with a learner's mentality. What does that mean? You're here to have your views challenged and learn a new perspective. This also removes the fear of being embarrassed of your shortcomings. There's always something new to learn or a new perspective to understand. Even if you're firmly convinced of your understanding, the learner's mentality will keep you grounded and open to development. Thirdly, understand that an argument's purpose is not victory, but progress. An argument with a smart person is a debate, not a fight. That being said, let's get into how to, quote, win an argument with a smart person. Understand your desired outcome. Why are you having this argument? Who initiated it? If it's you, then you should have a clear idea of what answers you're after. This may sound obvious, but it rarely happens, especially in spontaneous arguments. You got into a debate because something is bothering you, but what are you trying to accomplish? Knowing exactly what's bothering you? Understanding why it's bothering you? Wanting to know who made the thing that's bothering you? The better you understand your desired outcome, the better questions you will ask. Asking really good questions is the foundation of any debate. Very few people look at asking great questions as a skill. If you think about it, there are only two reasons why people have a conversation. It's either to exchange information or to impress others. Asking questions achieves both. Yet, many just don't ask enough questions. If you don't know where to start, think of questions the other person will enjoy answering. That will pique their interest for a conversation, and it makes the argument more open. Understand losing conditions. There's only one way to win an argument, but multiple ways to lose one. Throw your argument at a wall and see what sticks. Identify what's the weakest link. Often, you'll find that your argument has a lot of plot holes in it, which you strategically left out. You know that if viewed from a different perspective, it could fall flat. Either fix them or win the argument by not losing it. It's only a matter of time before someone contradicts themselves in an argument. Make sure you're not the first one to do it. Think about it like this. What information will make your argument redundant? Even if you were to invent some outlandish shit, there will always be a possibility you haven't thought of everything. So question yourself often. And even better, have the argument with yourself beforehand. Ideally, you'll go through the first 2 points before having the actual argument. You always talk to yourself when you need expert advice, right? Having this conversation with yourself first prepares you for possible counterarguments the other person might have. And if you personally know the individual you're about to have an argument with, think about the way they are as a person. Are they emotional, analytical, sarcastic? Imagine what would be their initial response and play both roles in your head. Play the devil's advocate against yourself. Double check your facts and have the backups. In other words, keep the receipts. It goes without saying you should actually know what you're talking about. You've done your homework, you've gathered the data, you understand how the thing works. Can you explain why you're right in a short sentence? Do you fully understand the underlying issue? Can you compare this situation with a similar one? Here's where the learner's mentality starts to kick in. From your current understanding, you believe your viewpoint is the right one. Can the other person educate you, or can you educate the other person? A spontaneous argument might make this task a bit tricky. That's why it is perfectly fine to say, "I don't know enough about this to have an educated opinion." That's actually a phrase a lot of people should have in their pocket, and they should use it more often. Let them explain first. If you don't have all the facts and data, let the other person give you a thorough explanation of their facts. If they can't, then you're dealing with a stupid person, for which you should go watch the other video. Letting them explain first does a couple of good things. First of all, people love talking about their own point of view, so you start the conversation off on the right foot. Secondly, you'll have a chance to double-think your approach based on what they say. Thirdly, you get the full list of their reasons on which you can base your counter-argument. Instead of opening with, "Here's why I'm right," start off with, "I'm curious what your take is on this because I believe we've got different opinions." Not only do you not sound like a self-centered prick, but you also set the mood for the conversation, which leads us to the next point. Replace argument with conversation. Like we mentioned at the beginning, the goal of an argument is progress, not victory. If you replace the word argument with conversation, you'll have a better chance of making progress because, well, the word argument is kind of argumentative. It sets the wrong tone. An argument is binary. You either win or you lose. A conversation can have a whole lot of different endings. The thing is, entering into a debate with someone isn't about convincing them that they're wrong and you're right. Sure, it's pretty satisfying when that's the result. But in actuality, the point of having an argument, a debate, a conversation, whatever you want to label it, is to promote critical thinking. It's about helping a person or yourself to recognize that there's actually a lot of complexity in this topic that was originally seen as simple. Ideally, it's not just you schooling another person. If you're in an exchange with someone just as intelligent, they should be able to shed interesting insights too. Consensus isn't the goal here. Greater understanding is. You win an argument, not when the other person says, "Ah, you were right." You win an argument when the other person says, "You know, you really made me think about this differently." And lastly, tell a story. Do you know the reason why TED Talks are so popular? The speakers always tell a story. Their style is narrative-driven, and facts are slotted in between the story arcs. They're easy to follow and easy to understand. Creating your argument within a story creates context and involvement. As humans, we love good stories. They draw us in and we understand things better. Great storytelling skills are criminally overlooked. A story makes the point more human, more understandable, and makes the other person more open. If you get good enough at storytelling, you can make even a dumb argument sound good. And that's it from us today, Aluxers. We hope you found this video valuable. Now, before we go, we've got a bonus for you. If you come out unsuccessful from a couple of arguments, it might actually be a sign of your lack of communication skills. We've gotten used to typing and not so much to speaking. The main way we communicate nowadays is through text, with DMs being a focal point. It might be a great idea to lay out your argument by typing it out first, to better sort out your ideas. I mean, how many times have you left a conversation only to figure out the perfect reply like 30 minutes later? The speed of our typing is obviously slower, which gives you more time to actually think your thoughts through and organize your words carefully. Use that to your advantage. There's no undo or backspace button in a face-to-face conversation. We tend to speak really fast when we're in an argument, which makes the time we have to organize our thoughts even shorter. So take your time. Don't rush it and use the moments of silence to reorganize your ideas. Oh, and one more thing before we go. I just want to say a big thank you to all of you A-Luxers out there who wished me well on my COVID journey. Honestly, it was a rough couple of days, but I'm more than thrilled to be back in this booth talking to you right now. My voice might be a little bit weird sounding right now, but I'll be better in no time, just you wait. Thank you for watching this video, A-Luxer. If you found it valuable, consider subscribing to our channel and joining our awesome community. And if you're still hungry for more, we handpicked this video for you to watch next, or head over to our website for more amazing content. See you tomorrow.